Hi, and welcome to the Law Simplified. I'm Shaveen Bandaranaike. So, you've decided to pursue law, you've selected your degree, you've even gone ahead and enrolled in it. Now what? This video is a quick outline of a few things that you need to keep in mind since you've now taken the leap to do law. You've selected your degree and you're just about to begin your semester. Now, throughout this particular YouTube channel, The Law Simplified, even on my Udemy platform, as well as during fast track and masterclass sessions that I conduct with students, a question that I get often presented is how do I time myself or how do I proceed with studies? Now, you either fall into one of two camps in terms of the type of student that you are. Either you're enrolled full-time with an establishment, with an institution, and you essentially are guided through this process. But sometimes you might be either studying part-time, you might be working, or still you might be studying for the LLB or the law degree via distance learning. In this latter case, the task is doubly more so difficult because you're somewhat alone in this process. Yes, you have material to guide you. Yes, you have forums and several learning environments online that you can get support from. But at the end of the day, it's about how you articulate and answer questions at the end of the day. Now, these are just two techniques. There are a bunch of other techniques that I've outlined in other videos on this channel as well, some of which I've linked in the description, as well as will appear as cards on the top of this video as well. But this is where you need to start. These are your fundamentals. This is a good place to ascertain where you need to go. And from there onwards, you can have other material that will help you out. The first thing is to create a schedule. Not just any schedule, but a schedule that works for you. This is the fundamental step that many students fail at. Not simply because there is no schedule. It's just because their schedule is effectively a duplicate of either someone else's schedule or what they've seen online as a schedule that will work. Chances are it won't. Every single person is different from every other person, and as much as the timetables that are presented or the schedules that are presented online make sense, they might not make sense to that particular student, let alone yourself. So what you need to understand is to create a schedule or a timeline that is not simply getting the hours across, rather to get a schedule made, to create one that works in an optimum way so that you take the most out of the time that you're allocating. Now, how do we do this? One of the great ways of doing so is to work backwards. In other words, when you look at the type of syllabus or the type of qualification that you're taking, you'd either fall into the type of university or the LLB, which is 100% examination based, or it might be a combination of assignments and exams. Either way, take these deadlines, take the periods that you're having your exams or even the submissions of your assignments and work yourself backwards from there. Try to figure out, based on your daily schedule, how much time you can allocate for studying. Not just going through the material, but to actually understand. And even here, not simply about studying in general, but prioritizing first on the essential material, such as your subject guide, your essential reading, the textbooks list that you've been provided by your university, followed by certain aspects or certain material that will take you above and beyond that of another student. These include case notes, arguments by jurists, blog posts and articles which are available on virtual learning environments and even online libraries such as LexisNexis, Westlaw and so on. What's instrumental, however, is not just the material, and I cannot stress this enough, it's about the type of time that you're allocating to it. Time alone is insufficient. Your schedule should reflect the amount of time that you're allocating that is of most rewarding to you. In other words, it must be the type of time that you can actually optimize and retain and understand. I've said this many times before in other videos as well as in my sessions as well. This is more a degree of how you think than what you know. Your examiner will reward you for your articulation, your thinking, your understanding, your personality, as opposed to just simply memorizing and narrating every aspect of the law. The second thing that you need to do is to get a bird's eye view of the subject. You might have just started your semester in the first year. You might be going on to the second or the third year. Either way, you're actually tackling this subject for the first time. In which case, the only type of guidance that you actually have in relation to this subject, if you are, for instance, in an institution, would be your professors, your lecturers, as well as your fellow students, if you are used to working in a group environment. But in this latter situation, they are in the same boat that you are. They're also sitting for this exam for the first time. And most subjects in the LLB are quite sequential in nature. What I mean by this is you need to have an understanding of each individual topic before you have an understanding of the whole subject. Now, this can seem a bit daunting and problematic, especially considering that many subjects require you to go through the entirety of the semester to understand. So you will not essentially get, for example, subjects like property law or even trust law until you are at the very latter stages of your syllabus. This might be problematic since if you miss out or if you do not understand certain elements of the subject, it will come in as a hindrance or a demerit towards the end. So the second most important thing then is to get a bird's eye view before you actually get into the subject in the first place. You need to understand the nuances and what topics that you need to focus on and to understand in order to get the whole subject. Check out some of the links in the description for one of the taste courses that I conduct via my fast track as well as the masterclass programs, where we go through essentially all of the topics in summary so that an entire picture of the subject is made and we can essentially develop based on your own strengths as well as weaknesses what topics to isolate and optimize our learning so that we can better prepare not just to pass but also to ace your examination. So have a look in the description and do reach out to me if you need any guidance. Those were two of the fundamental requirements that you need to keep in mind now that you've decided to do law, you've picked your degree and you've enrolled in it, you're just about to start your semester. There are countless other ways in which you can hone your skills and take your answers as well as your understanding of the law to the next level. If you like this video, make sure you give a thumbs up and subscribe to the Law Simplified for more videos of this caliber. Do visit thelawsimplified.com, the brand new website that has rich content in relation to academics, career guidance, tips and tricks, as well as all of my courses and access to the fast track and the masterclass programs as well. If you'd like to get in touch to set up a taster session that we spoke about in this video. But until the next time that we meet, have fun, stay safe, and obey the law.